Monica Fairbrook was born in America to the pressure hero Point Break and the accounting hero Tax Break. Both New York City based, with Point Break being fairly popular in Queens. Her quirk, acupuncture, allows her to enhance her strength and healing rate by hitting various pressure points across her body, though rapid repeated use causes wear and tear with diminishing returns. Tax Break has the quirk analysis, which makes his brain into a veritable supercomputer, similar to Principal Nezu's quirk High Spec. It makes him an asset in the world stock market, hero management, and many other fields the world over. However, prolonged use of his quirk causes strain on his entire body, which is why he bulks up to make it strong enough to handle it. The man is a mountain. The two heroes met back in high school and eventually became sweethearts, which one day led to Monica being born. Acupuncture and analysis melded together and became the new quirk, Percentile. When discovered at the age of 5, it was actually difficult to tell what this quirk was, and was initially just seen as some kind of super strength. There was no tell of the activation, and young Monica had no control over it for a time. During grade school, Monica got more of a handle on it and was a tricky girl. She used it to slowly excel at sports, and soon enough got a grasp on what else her quirk could do, such as increase her brain power as well. She kept this new discovery a secret and ended up excelling in her classes. Her parents grew suspicious of this sudden and drastic improvement with no work to show for it, and spoke with their daughter. Eventually getting the answer, they were more concerned than angry. They decided to get tests done so they could get a better idea of what Monica's quirk could do. After a time, it was discovered that Monica could enhance any physical or mental attribute that she had, so long as said attribute could be quantified in the first place. So while things like strength, endurance, and analytical prowess were free game, things like luck, charm, and so on were unaffected. Also, it seemed that there was a limit to how much anything could be increased. Monica could only increase her stats, as she puts them, up to 300% additive. This can be split between stats as she sees fit. For example, say 100% to durability and then 200% to strength. With all of this in mind, Monica was held under a very watchful eye by her father. With no obvious tell of her quirk being active, it was easy to cheat, so he would use his quirk to analyze her, looking out for signs of when she's lying and things like that to make sure that she was studying properly. Her strength and physical abilities were handled by her mother, who she was already training with for a few years by this point. Neither parent liked being this strict with their daughter, but they didn't want her to become overly reliant on her quirk and head down a dark path. This lesson finally hit home during Monica's first year of middle school. She begrudgingly studied hard for her midterms and never used her quirk, even at school where her father would have no realistic way of knowing, because she was sure he would somehow find out. And she ended up acing the test, getting top of the class, and yet her teachers gave her a distrusting look. Her classmates whispered about how great it would be if they had a quirk like hers, where they could easily coast by without being called out. How they knew she cheated, even though she didn't. Monica achieved this without her quirk, and yet only her parents recognized that. Only they were proud of her. Even her friends were convinced she used her quirk. This made Monica slightly neurotic. She threw herself into training with her mother and studying with her father, pushing herself and her limits without the use of her quirk. Her body grew stronger, her mind grew sharper, and she excelled at school even more. She did realize at one point that doing this ironically makes her quirk more potent, as her base level was now higher, so the increase would be larger as well, but that wasn't the point here. She needed to prove that she was more than her quirk, that she earned these things without it. Her quirk was strong, versatile, and altogether suffocating to her. She didn't hate it necessarily. She just wanted to be seen as Monica rather than percentile. The perception was a limit that she had to break. The girl worked herself ragged, and yet that perception didn't change. Though incredibly bitter, she eventually understood that changing people's perceptions was not something done easily. She would have to settle for the fact that she and her parents knew the truth, as unsatisfying as that was. She had a different goal to focus on for now. High school was fast approaching, and she knew the one place she wanted to go: overseas to UA High. Since a little girl, she had been enamored with America's #1 hero, Star and Stripe. She admired her, was a massive fan, and more than anything, she wanted to go beyond her. And for the first step in doing that, where better to go than the alma mater of her idol's master? Yes, it would be difficult, but Monica was dead set on it. There was no limit before her that she felt was wholly insurmountable. And as she was heading to high school, that became something of a mantra to her. She truly and wholeheartedly believes that limits were made to be broken and that anyone can do it, even if the process is slow. Still, she's young and is unaware of many of the limits she ended up placing on herself. Regardless, she wants to be a hero that shows that people don't have to limit themselves. She's aware enough to know that she may not be the correct person to do it, but that doesn't mean she won't try to be that person eventually. And so, the hero name she's chosen for herself is Limit Break. This is Monica Fairbrook. Eager, stubborn, kind, reckless, loyal, and a bit too into showing off her abs any chance she gets. Her journey through UA will show her grow and learn, like many have before her. She will learn to better use her quirk and come to terms with its existence as part of herself, rather than let it languish while she only focuses on her body and mind without it. She will come to realize that the 300% limit is not actually a hard one, and is something the quirk itself can manipulate. Her possibilities truly are limitless. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. That was a bit more like a story format rather than me just explaining the character outright. If you did, let me know by liking the video and commenting down below. If this video does well, I'll do more of my OC videos like this in the future, so be sure to subscribe to see when I upload them. A big thank you to Kamago for providing the art of Monica and her parents for this video. They did such a fantastic job with all of the pieces that show off in this video. I wasn't really planning on remaking the video for Monica, and I was just getting the art for fun, but I was so enamored with how Monica's hero costume came out that I felt compelled to work on it. Go check out Kamago over on Twitter using the link in the description below to show some love. Normally I do my thanks and shoutouts at the top of the video, but I put them at the end this time due to the format that I'm trying out. I hope that's okay. One last thing, let me know if you'd be interested in seeing a continuation of Monica's story. I promise nothing, but if the request for it is large enough, maybe it'll get me to write something on AO3. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time in the void. Later.
Ayaka, your abs are freaking insane! What? They are?